Could the notorious Jack the Ripper still walk among us today? If he lived in our modern age, would we have caught him? Welcome to a chilling exploration of one of history's most infamous unsolved mysteries. In the grimy, fog-laden streets of Whitechapel District, London, in the year 1888, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. This figure, known only as Jack the Ripper, would go on to commit some of the most brutal and notorious murders in history. 5 women, all working as prostitutes in the impoverished East End of London, fell victim to this ruthless killer. Their throats were cut, their bodies mutilated in a manner that suggested a grotesque familiarity with human anatomy. The removal of internal organs from some victims led many to believe this was no ordinary murderer, but someone with surgical knowledge. Despite extensive investigations by Scotland Yard and widespread media attention, the killer remained elusive. A series of letters, some claiming to be from the Ripper himself, added to the gruesome intrigue, but failed to bring authorities any closer to their man. The Whitechapel district at the time was a melting pot of overcrowding, poverty, and social tensions. Among the sea of Irish immigrants and Jewish refugees, prostitution was rampant. It was within this chaotic environment that Jack the Ripper was able to carry out his heinous acts and slip away unnoticed. While the police investigation was able to link 5 of the murders conclusively, there were 2 others that some believe were the work of the Ripper. Emma Elizabeth Smith and Martha Tabram, both brutally murdered. Their cases remain a chilling footnote in this grim saga. Now, more than a century later, the legend of Jack the Ripper continues to captivate and horrify in equal measure. His identity and his fate remain shrouded in mystery, his crimes a stark reminder of a time when evil could lurk undetected in the shadows of London streets. In this video, we've taken a journey back in time to the heart of Victorian London, where we've explored the brutal crimes of Jack the Ripper. We've delved into the social conditions of the time, the victims he preyed upon, and the tantalizing clues he left behind. Yet with all of these pieces, the full picture of Jack the Ripper remains frustratingly out of reach, a puzzle missing its most crucial piece, the identity of the killer himself. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the past. Perhaps one day, the shadowy figure of Jack the Ripper will step into the light. Until that day, the mystery continues. In the late 1960s, Northern California found itself in the grip of fear as an unidentified serial killer who would later come to be known as the Zodiac Killer began operating. His victims were primarily young couples, though a lone male cab driver also fell prey to his terrifying spree. As the body count began to rise, so did the chilling letters and cards that the killer sent to local newspapers. These messages, filled with taunting threats of further killing sprees and bombings, were his way of toying with the media and the police. And if that wasn't enough, he also included cryptograms, coded messages that he claimed held the key to his identity. The first murders attributed to the Zodiac Killer were those of high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Arthur Faraday in December 1968. The young couple had planned to attend a Christmas concert that night but tragically never made it. Another major incident associated with the Zodiac Killer occurred in July 1969, when Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were shot in a park. Ferrin succumbed to her injuries, but Mageau miraculously survived, providing a first-hand account of the killer's modus operandi. In a cruel game of cat and mouse, the Zodiac Killer sent letters to the police and the press, taking credit for the attacks. He demanded these letters be published, threatening further violence if his demands were not met. To this day, 2 of the cryptograms included in these letters remain unsolved, a chilling reminder of the unsolved mystery that is the Zodiac Killer. While the police had several suspects over the years, only one was ever publicly named: Arthur Lee Allen, a former teacher and convicted sex offender. However, despite the suspicions, there was never enough evidence to conclusively link Allen to the crimes, and he died in 1992, with the case still unresolved. Despite the passage of more than 5 decades, the case of the Zodiac Killer remains open in various jurisdictions, with the California Department of Justice maintaining an open case file. The unsolved nature of this case continues to intrigue true crime enthusiasts who pore over the available evidence, hoping to uncover a clue that might finally put this mystery to rest. In summary, the Zodiac Killer, an unidentified serial killer who terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s, remains a chilling enigma. His taunting letters to the press, the cryptograms, and the unsolved murders all contribute to a mystery that has captivated the world for over half a century. Despite the passage of time, the Zodiac Killer case remains a stark reminder of the darker side of human nature and the enduring power of unsolved mysteries.